And we're back with another episode of NBA Observations. It's Gerald Glassford. Thanks so much again for joining me right here at NBA Observations, part of the Lakers Fast Break. Make sure you like and subscribe. Make sure you go ahead and hit us up again. We truly appreciate you being part of the summer here with us at the Lakers Fast Break. Looking forward to some great conversations. A lot of us have been doing some different things. I stopped by earlier today, the Thomas and Mack, saw all the crowd that was going in there. Good crowd. I mean, you're not going to sell out the Thomas and Mack, what's going on with all the games there. It's Summer League, but still, in 115-degree weather, it's always good to see people still supporting the NBA, indeed, and all the facilities and all the interviews that are going on right there for Summer League, and plus the action itself, which I'll talk about here in a little bit. But there are some things on the docket we got to go ahead and talk about. Some breaking news that happened just before we go on the air here and record this. But here today to go ahead and discuss all that's good with the NBA and all that's maybe not so good with the NBA. Good man indeed. You got to go ahead and check him out. Today on I Got Next Sports Media, it is my good friend, Mr. Legend. Legend, great to have you back on the show, my friend.
Hey, happy to be back. Lots to talk about.
Lots to talk about, indeed. Absolutely. Just great to have you here, as always. I wanted to go ahead and start off with, just before we went on the air, Victor Wembanyama signed an extension. He could have signed a really, 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 really big extension. Instead, he signed a really, 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 really big extension because he, instead of taking the 30% Supermax that would have taken it to a 5-year, $303 million deal, he chose the 25% maximum, the Fun Max, or whatever they used to call it as far as it's concerned. 5-year, $252 million maximum rookie scale contract extension with a 5th-year player option, my friend. The brass in San Antonio went directly to him in France to go ahead and pitch this to him, and he decided, for the betterment of the team, to take a little bit of a pay cut, seeing what Jalen Brunson has started, seeing how the current CBA is working, and seeing how what you need to do to actually build a specifically good team, and realizing that he was on the cusp of being an NBA champion, obviously wanted to more and obviously wants more, and is able to go ahead and wanting to go ahead and make a little bit of a sacrifice to do it. Although, $250 million coming your way is, I think you'll be okay. But be that as it may, my friend, your thoughts first off on Victor Wembanyama. He is doing what he thinks he feels is best for him to go ahead and help build this team forward in San Antonio.
First of all, I would definitely say that just shows how much you want to win, that he made that sacrifice to give up that 30% Supermax, making over $300 million, and chose to make in the mid $200 million. So I think that was a good move, a good sacrifice on his end. And he's probably looking at the fact that Jalen Brunson took a big pay cut. Look what it led to him. He want the same thing. So I think that was a good move for the team-wise. You can help add more depth, add more of what you may need, fill in the weak spots from when they lost in the finals. So I think it was a good move. Show a lot of respect to him as well. Who knows? It might turn into a trend where you see more and more stars willing to take pay cuts in order to allow the team to get built properly.
Well, I'll tell you what, though, his future with the team obviously looks bright. I still think they need to work out some things there, figure out what they want to do going forward with obviously their young backcourt, and to see what they want to go ahead to do to make some possible changes there. You've got players that need to be moved up into the starting lineup. You got players that might need to be moved out with bigger contracts. You still need some depth at the forward position, but again, they come in San Antonio with a bevy of options, assets, and also players that they can go ahead and utilize around Victor going forward. And absolutely looks like they're going to go ahead with Stephon Castle and uh, you know, Harper and De'Aaron Fox, Julian Champagny, Devin
I would
Vassell.
try to move Fox.
How they're going to go ahead and I would. I've been asking for it for almost a year now to go ahead and move it before his contract really starts to kick in. I really think that it's in their best interest to supplement, the forward to get a forward out of that or to improve that part of getting him a little bit more beef along the front line. And I do appreciate the fact that they did get some beef in the draft. But before that draft, before those draftees really start to gain their experience, I still think they need something along the front line to really uh, get them where they want to go. But I think it's still an honorable move by Victor Wembanyama to go ahead and say, you know what, I want to go ahead and build for the future and see what this team can build around me.
And that's why I respect Victor Wembanyama a lot on that part, because that's the what it takes to build a championship team. You gotta be willing to make sacrifice. Yes, you can go out here and make all the money in the world, but truthfully, you making $250 some million. Yeah, 350 sound better, but guess what? You ain't losing sleep on that much. You'll regain that through all them commercials and everything else off the court. You'll regain that part, no problem. You really want to win, make the sacrifice so the organization can go out there, get the pieces you need, not have to be scrambling, looking like, oh no, what are we gonna do? We got no money, we got no draft. You ain't got to worry about all that. If you take the pay cut, the team can do what needs to be done. And to me, that's the heart of a champion to make that type of move.
Absolutely. So, with that said, my friend, San Antonio is now again still trying to build for the future, but they've got a lot of, a lot of assets and a lot of things that they can do going forward that will allow them to go ahead and still maintain that level of excellence. But there are other things going on in the NBA right now. Also, a little while ago, we got the breaking news that
Mm-hmm.
here in Vegas, where I'm at, I didn't know it was fight night in Vegas,
Every
but
day.
it must be fight night in Vegas. I know that there's stuff coming up with the UFC. I know also there's some fights coming up here in Vegas as well. But I didn't know tonight specifically was fight night in Vegas because we got a report that former teammates Tyler Hero and Bam Adebayo, gotten a little dust up. With Bam Adebayo actually striking Tyler Hero. I don't know the severity. Nobody knows the injury severity, if there is one, if it was, quickly broken up. But I guess Bam Adebayo took exception to some of the trash talk Tyler Hero was saying now that they were no longer teammates, which after 7 years together, obviously something had built up since then. Your thoughts on this, my friend? Because again, here in Vegas, what happens in Vegas didn't stay in Vegas because there's obviously something that the league is going to have to look into with, of course, what's going on with Bam Adebayo striking Tyler Hero.
Well, one thing I can tell Tyler Hero is when you're behind the keyboard, and I don't know if it's true or not, about he was using a burner account to talk about him and stuff. And if you're gonna do all the talking, you gotta be prepared for what could happen. Sometimes all the talking can lead to hands talking next, and that's what it ended up leading to in this situation. Most likely the league's probably gonna definitely investigate this situation, and we can pretty much tell that their relationship is gonna be sour going forward. But I kind of say Tyler Hero brought it plenty of stuff though when you were talking about the guy. You know, you was on the burner account, you was talking trash about him, and this is what ended up happening. That somebody probably told him or he found out on his own and came looking for you. And Las Vegas went from being this summer league basketball to an extra UFC fight that nobody didn't know about. Free tickets to it, so it ended up happening. So
Yeah, it happened one of the local casinos, which gets converted to practice facilities in several locations here throughout the strip and whatnot. They take some of these ballrooms and just throw a floor out there. I know the Lakers facility at one of the casinos here. Yeah, I saw that yesterday. So, with that said, again, I'm not making too much of it, but again, I know that the league might because it puts a pardon the pun black eye on the league when something like that happens. But it's always interesting when things happen in summer leagues. So we'll see what happens and how the league addresses it going forward. But I do think there's some money that's going to be a little bit lighter in someone's pocket, or someone is going to be serving some time on a suspension for a couple games or whatnot. But I think that again, I don't think it'll deter what's going to go on with Bam Adebayo with his new friend Giannis Antetokounmpo and what they're going to do in Miami.
Yeah, it's not gonna be too much effect. You know what happened with him and Giannis. He gonna moving on. You know, hey, it's over now. He's Milwaukee. He might well move forward, let it go, move on. Aja Wilson gonna talk to him tonight. She'll get his mind right. She gonna talk to him. All she had to do was just say the magic word. Oh man, I don't know what to tell him, man. You better be. She might be. Actually, I think they might be on the road today.
Yeah, she was on the road the other day. I know that they were on the road. So of course she does it when she's out of town. Saturday, no, she should bring it back in town because they're at home tomorrow. So
okay, hey, see, she'll talk to him.
Okay, yeah, she's gonna have.
She's gonna whisper the magic words, and he'll be all right.
Yeah, but the thing is also as well, Adam Silver's going to have a word with him too, and we'll see exactly what kind of punishment. I'm assuming that something's going to be, a little bit lighter in the pocketbook, or also as well, some days off during the regular season. We'll see what happens there. But
going in pay up real quick.
Exactly. So we'll see what happens. But there is fight night. That was unexpected. We'll see what the kind of fallout comes out from Tyler Herro and Bam Adebayo, with Bam Adebayo striking Tyler Herro. I don't think Tyler Herro doesn't go unscathed on this either, because obviously it takes two to tango on this. So let us know your thoughts on the fight night here in Vegas. Unexpected. Let us know right there in the comments below. Indeed. But speaking of Adam Silver, it was noted that finally, after the Kawhi trade, like over a week later, curious how Toronto all of a sudden says, kind of been thinking about it. Kind of want to put this Kawhi trade on hold between them, the Clippers, Brandon Ingram, et cetera, picks, all that, because we was kind of inferred that the league, if they were to go ahead and come down with some type of punishment against, of course, Kawhi Leonard for his involvement in the Clippers aspiration scandal, that he would suffer those consequences as a member of the Toronto Raptors, whether it be, his contract, suspension, what have you. So with that said, my friend, it was kind of curious that the word came down several days, almost 10 days after the initial trade was announced, that, hey, this might not be as wise an idea as of yet, while the league still tries to figure out this investigation in full. Your thoughts, my friend, on the Kawhi Leonard trade being put on hold right now? And do you think it'll ultimately actually still go off as planned? Because if something seriously happens to Kawhi Leonard, it may alter the plans for both the Clippers and the Raptors.
I'm getting the feeling that something's about to happen. I don't know how severe it's going to be, but it's just a feeling of something going to happen. The fact that the league had a pause on this trade from happening just kind of know that there's something about to happen within now and open tonight for Kawhi Leonard. No doubt about it. Before next season starts, whatever's going to happen is going to be handled by that point. And if I'm to run something I would do, I just thought about this when you mentioned it. If they were to end up cutting his contract, get him for free. Keep your draft picks, keep your players. The only one loses. Get him for free.
Only the Clips would be affected. That's a better deal.
Yeah.
Only the Clips would be affected by that, huh? So you're saying the Clips the Clips getting clipped? When has that ever happened? There you go.
They get clipped in a special way they haven't been clipped before. You lose your star player pretty much for free.
Exactly. So we'll see what happens. But I agree with you that I think still something is yet to be done, especially the fact that the cold feet that Toronto, pardon the pun there, has gotten. I will say, though, that I still am hopeful that something really big comes down as far as disciplinary action, because if you've followed what's gone on with this story, as I have, especially with the great work, the Pulitzer Prize winning work that Pablo Torre has done on it and laid everything out, there is quite a bit of evidence to show that there is some messy stuff going on. And I know that the Clippers, in a recent statement, say are trying to state their innocence and that they were scammed along with everyone else that was involved in this aspiration case. But I'm sorry, I cannot go along with
Now I don't.
that. I can't. Yeah, I just can't go along with it. Yeah, you can fool me once, shame on me. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. So I'll just say this, Legend, that I am still waiting with bated breath what's going to go down, and again, I'm reserving judgment until that happens, Legend.
Yeah, I would say I'll wait for that judgment too. That they at this point, at this point, if they had to knew this was gonna happen, you had to knew this was going on because there's no way that this entire time that this man was getting all this money, you didn't know. You had to have known. There's just no way. There's just no way.
Absolutely. So we'll see what happens. But if you guys have thoughts on what's going on with, of course, what's going on with the Kawhi Leonard aspiration, Toronto Clippers trade, all this fun stuff, let us know in the comments below. Indeed, as well, it is greatly appreciated. But getting to our teams now, and with the LeBron gate still going on, the search for LeBron, the you know Oh, by the way, did Golden State send their? Did you send your voice memo on behalf of Golden State to LeBron James? Because I guess that's what he's getting now. You have to send voice memos to LeBron to share your interest as a team, and then you have to share it to Rich Paul. You have to send it to Rich Paul. Rich Paul sends it to LeBron. Then LeBron decides if he'll meet with you on a larger video teleconferencing, et cetera, going forward. So, yes, we're welcome to the digital age 2026 of LeBron decision making. So, with that said, my friend, it has, I think right now it is done a little bit to some of these teams like the Golden States, the Clevelands, and other teams that are still in flux. They're not able to make many moves outside of that because they're just trying to figure out what they can do with LeBron, but LeBron is leaving them hanging. So, with that said, my friend, how has your team shaped up this teams or your teams shaped up this offseason?
I'm gonna say this. I guess Golden State got the memo that I sent them too when I sent that message saying, "If you do it, I'm out. I'm out if you get LeBron James." I got they got the message, and then LeBron is like, "I'll leave y'all alone. I don't want y'all to lose Legend. Let me bag off. I don't want to make him mad. So I'm gonna look at Cleveland and all of them. So good job, LeBron, on that part. But all seriously though, I like the rookie they got. I do like Golden State's rookie. He's been performing excellent in summer league. Of course, I don't put that much stock in the summer league just because of we both know summer league, regular NBA, two different things. But I can say that he's been balling, just like Carr for you guys. You guys have been balling. So I would definitely say Golden State picked up a good one in the draft. Looks like he would fit in just right too, just right. He looks like he should.
Well, as an
And
older rookie, though, as an older
yeah,
rookie, he seems to be stepping on the court with a lot of comfortability, which what you see out of second and third year players in summer league. So he has done very well. He's very efficient with his shooting. He's been very good on that end, and again, providing necessary rebounding and playmaking as well. So Yaxel Lindenberg, I think, again, as a ready-made player, can make a big contribution right away to the Golden State Warriors.
yeah, I think he's gonna come in and be a good contribution for the Warriors. As long as Steve Kerr let the man play your young guys. You got a habit of not playing your young guys. Let this man come in. He's not a regular 19-year-old, that's just coming out of 1 year. He's an older rookie, so that's something Steve Kerr should like. That at least he's a more older, experienced rookie. So I think he can come in and make an impact coming off that bench and being a good production for us. And who knows, he might come out here and do well enough to where you slide him to the starting lineup. Who knows? But he's gonna come in here. I think he's gonna really produce. I think he's gonna be a good production for the Warriors. And just like I think with Cameron Carr, he looks good. Look like he's gonna be a good production for you guys. As long as JJ Redick don't do the Steve Kerr don't want to play your young guys.
We'll see what happens. Cameron Carr has played well for the Lakers so far. As we record this is on the verge of the Lakers' first game in Vegas here coming up. So we'll see what happens with that. But heading into summer league, we'll talk about here in a minute as far as what we'd like and what we're looking forward to seeing and what we have seen already in our little bit of time on summer league. But when it comes to what you're seeing with Golden State, the possibility still that they might be still reaching out to AD to try and see if they can facilitate a trade. Even though Washington has said before in recent days that they're not trading him, then they kind
He
of get
must be
mixed
playing the
signals.
match.
Yeah, exactly. So I get, they say that a couple days later that they're, maybe they could be swayed if this is done and this is done and these picks are given,
Slide
et
them
cetera,
first
et
round
cetera.
draft picks.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, I don't know. There's still a lot of to go there, and I think maybe that's part of the reason why LeBron has not committed to a team yet because he's still trying to see what other teams can do to try and build around him. And I'll just leave it at that. But with that said, I'm going to go ahead and finish off the LeBron chase here before I get into some Laker talk, and that is with LeBron. He still wants the attention around him. He does not want to be an additional guy. Does not want to be someone that's playing alongside or someone that's sitting in the corners. It's clear that he wants to be still the guy, even at 41 years old, for a team, or at least someone that's very highly thought of in the mix for a team. And I can't say I blame him. You're one of the greatest players of all time, absolutely. But does it come at the cost of winning? Does it come at the cost of understanding where he is at? Because again, if San Antonio or OKC had come calling, or if they have come calling, and he's just ignored him, if it's all about winning and chasing another ring, a final ring, that's probably where I would have gone if I were him. But this seems to be something different. Whether he goes back to Cleveland, whether he goes to up to Golden State, whether he goes down to Miami, wherever he goes or ends up going, it doesn't seem like it's going to be as good a fit as he could have made it.
Yeah, if it was about winning, you would have went to like OKC or Spurs or something. Even though you probably get criticized if you went there, knowing how the sports world work, they probably would have ripped you to shreds, and you probably won't hear the end of it. But he's still at the point he wants the attention. He still like the attention. He want to be the main guy. I think one of the things I told my buddy today when we were talking about the Lakers, he's a Lakers fan. Like I told him, it's pretty obvious LeBron didn't care about being no third option. Pretty obvious at that point. He said it without saying it through his actions that he don't want to be a third option. And if he want to still be maybe not completely the guy, but still like one of the main attractions, I would think you don't want to go to Philadelphia because you're not going to be there. You don't want to go to Miami. You're not going to be the main attraction there. You go to Cleveland, you got the spotlight. You know you're going to have that spotlight. It's all yours. You go to Golden State, you ain't going to really have that much spotlight either, but you're going to have a lot of attention on you just because you and Steph on the same team. Two people who win against each other so much of the 2010s era. So you'll have all the attention in the world. So personally, I still think you should go to Cleveland. It's the right thing to do. You're gonna get all the attention. It's even though you may not be maybe the number one option on that team, you still gonna be a major factor to that team. You're gonna be a major contribution, a major point. They're gonna come to you about stuff. You know that. So going back to Cleveland makes a lot of sense, and it's the perfect place to end your career. But I think LeBron's gonna go. I think he's going to Cleveland. Though. I really think it's gonna be Cleveland. If you go anywhere else, I would really be a little surprised. And if, of course, you go to Golden State, you'll see me on my porch crying. But now I got to go through it too.
Well, we'll definitely see what happens with LeBron. Again, I got a text earlier today from somebody still trying to, what is LeBron doing? What is LeBron? I don't care. Honestly, I report on it, but
Oh,
honestly,
take Bronny
that
with you
way,
too. Take him with
exactly. Yeah, take Bronny, please. But that weight has been lifted off my shoulder. I don't have to feel the noise. I don't have to hear the noise.
you. Oh,
That is someone
I
else's
wanted to
problem.
ask you about that. How you feel to have that noise off your shoulder?
It feels good. It feels good in one way, although I wish the other part of my weight in Rob Pelinka is still there. Whatever weight that came off with LeBron has been fully added with the poor decision making with Rob Pelinka. But yes, not having LeBron is a lot easier to me and my psyche and my blood pressure. So I'm really happy about that. Again, he was fantastic of a player
Yeah,
when Austin and Luca got hurt and he stepped up and no noise, nothing surrounding it, nothing else. Just, you know what? Hey, let's get out there and win and let's do the best we can. And they tried to with him. And at 41, you see it, him leading a team, it just doesn't work anymore. It worked against Houston just enough, but against a really good team like OKC or San Antonio, he that got smoked. It just that simple. But him still wanting to be a part of a championship team, it's great. That's fine. Go ring chasing, but I just don't think even he does that well enough. Because if he goes ring chasing, I would have knocked on San Antonio's door. There's a slot open right there for some needed muscle inside to help Wemby, and he didn't do it. So okay, I don't think it will ultimately pay off with what he wants, but okay, whatever his legacy he feels he needs to go ahead and fulfill, let him do it. But yes, the weight has been lifted off with LeBron and added more with Rob Pelinka. This summer, I know we've had conversations. I've seen you in the WhatsApp chat with the guys. I've also have nonstop the Laker holics in my other group chat here. They're just going off nonstop about it between the few defenders and the many people bad mouthing Rob as far as it's concerned. Uh, I just think again with what he has done, I really would have done better. I really think that you could have done better. Personally, I would have done looking back on it. We had a show, Legend, where if we were in charge, what would happen? And we made moves. We built our rosters the way we wanted to see them. Well, seeing how the landscape has been different, a little bit different than even what we could have foreseen it, I would have
right.
made some changes. I would have made some alterations. And with that said, I would have gone in a little bit of different direction. I still would have gone out and made the trade for Trey Murphy and Herb Jones and got that done with the first round picks that I would have used in the Walker Kessler trade. And if I have to use all of my assets, that's I would have been able to go ahead with the seconds that I have and the pick swaps to go ahead and get um, Khalil Ware, and I also would have drafted Chris Cenac Jr. personally to provide an athletic front line with Cenac, as far as just Jalen Duren, and then also Khalil Ware as my starting center. So again, a young developing center who is infinitely cheaper than what we're seeing with Walker Kessler right now because he's still $4 million on the final year of his rookie contract. And again, someone who can block shots, stretch the floor, and rebound at an extremely high level, as we've seen if you take a look at the stats. So be that as it may, I would have changed and gone a little bit different direction and provided a little bit better depth before I would have dished out all that money to get all those players to still have a lot of
Exactly.
questions on my team. Again, seeing this roster the way it's constructed right now, and that you're chasing after Jonathan Kaminga, and it's funny because I think you noted, or was somebody in your group chat that noted that Kevon Looney, who was signed earlier this week by the Lakers, oh well, he was a mentor for Jonathan Kaminga, who is currently being courted by the Lakers. How good did that work out in Golden State as a mentor for
Hmm.
Jonathan Kaminga, Legend?
Pretty obvious that didn't work out too well because he would still be a Warrior as to stay. He would still be a Golden State if that thing would have worked out. and it's pretty obvious it did not work out. Kaminga's not a bad player, but I feel like he could do it better. That is what I think. I know it's not much they can do now because he emptied the clip so much to get Walker Kessler, which I still continue to say, go get him. He's a good center. Go get him.
Mm-hmm.
I just wouldn't have gave up so much. What's the right way to say it? How I said earlier is that it looks like it did all your best to take their game to another level. That's what you like. You're pretty much done. It's look like what Rob did at this point. It's all or nothing on these two, and maybe Walker Kessler might live up to it. Austin Reeves, I don't know. I really don't think he should be your second best player. I'm still on that camp of that. So I'm still a little iffy about that Austin Reeves part being a little. That's taking a big risk to me. That's a big chance that you're taking on that one.
Well, for me, again, I know a lot of people out there have said that. Well, you had to sign. You were forced to sign Austin Reeves because you can't lose him for nothing. You can't lose him for nothing. You can't lose him for nothing. That's all I ever hear in the saying. Well, Jalen Duren could have been that guy you could have signed and traded for, and if you want to give somebody that kind of money, then I might as well give it to a guy that's 22 years old, can get you double digit rebounds, and is going to be an athletic freak for years to come. And then you basically alongside as far as how you structure the team, getting in a scorer that you can, finding a way to get that done as far as a trade for New Orleans for Trey Murphy, Herb Jones, solidifying your defense a little bit more because you don't have any perimeter defense right now. You can't sell me on Quentin Grimes. You can't sell me on Mamu. You can't sell me on these reserves and asking them to go ahead and step up into a 30 to 35-minute role on every given night and expect it to be at the level you need it to be. These guys are really good reserves, but at this point, they're still in their career really good, should be still really good reserves coming off your bench, getting 20 to 25 minutes each and every game, getting you that type of offense that you need coming off the bench, which they haven't have, but they don't have those options. And bringing in Jonathan Kaminga, a guy who, again, extremely athletic, and a lot of people love that aspect. And again, Legend, it just goes back to what often they see the highlights, they see the slam dunks, and they see the athleticism. They say, oh, we got to have that, got to have that.
Yeah.
But then you got to take a second to look. Legend, he has been on your two favorite teams. He has also worked his way off your two favorite teams. Your Atlanta Hawks didn't want any more of Jonathan Kaminga at $24.5 million. So they let him go. They let him walk away. They released him from his last year of his contract because they did not want to pay him 20. They didn't feel he was worth $24 million. And saying that, again, he is now fighting to see whatever he can squeeze out of the Lakers or any other suitor at this point above whatever's been reported offer, whether it's 10 million, 12 million, what have you. I just, at this point, for a guy who doesn't stretch the floor very well, who doesn't, and
He
what
should
may,
that will.
yeah, he doesn't. Statistically, he is not a good guy that's going to extend the floor, but he is a bucket getter. He is a bucket getter and an athletic player, but his athleticism doesn't go very well on the defensive side. Someone tried to convince me the other day that he was a good on-ball defender, and I said, "What planet are you on?" Because absolutely, that is not true.
Ooh.
Legend
Yeah, that's not
Legends
true.
watched Legend watches all the games with Golden State. I've watched many games with Kuminga on Golden State. I do not see what you see when it comes to defending at high level. There are reasons why Kerr did not play him, or Kerr did not start him, or he went to the doghouse to starting lineup to dart it to back up, etc. in his entire tenure in Golden State. And there are reasons why he never progressed beyond being a six man in Atlanta. Again, it's just the fact is how much do you want to commit to him? And again, while he brings athleticism and transition and things of that nature that the Lakers do need, I don't. Again, I just fear that there's going to be another overpay by Rob Pelinka, which seems to be the theme of his summer, Legend.
Gerald, I'm kind of glad you brought that up because when I heard what he was asking, I'm like, they're finna overpay. They're gonna do it. They are going to do it. I know this man, Rob Pelinka's like, bring out the trucks, bring the bench truck on out, bring them out for him. We're gonna overpay. He ain't worth it. Yeah, like, don't get me wrong, he's a good young player, but I think something about him is, I think Johan Buhal kind of mentioned this. I'm like, that's kind of what I feel like he thinks too. He think he's more than just that 6-man role. I think he's a legit starter, like, and I just don't think that's the case. I think, like Johan said on the Electric Collective the other day, God, every now and then I listen to him to see what he said. The one thing I say Johan was very correct about was if he were to accept a 6-man role, like coming off the bench, I think he'll excel in the league at that point. Still develop a jump shot that needs to develop. In this day and age, you gotta be able to shoot the 3-point ball. Can't shoot the three, you ain't no good. This is how it is in the era. But if he's willing to come off that bench, be like a Manu Ginobili or something like that, I think he'll excel. But if you continue to have that I'm a starter, that might be a problem. That's where you might find yourself overseas learning to speak Chinese. That's when you might find yourself doing that at that point. So I think you have to, at some point, come to the realization I have to change the way I play if I want to stick in this league and contribute to a legitimate team. At some point, when teams keep moving you around the league, you have to ask yourself, all right, it's obvious it's me at this point. It ain't them, it's me. At the one team move you, okay. 2 team move you, okay. Now you going to your 3rd team, all right, you got to start asking yourself some questions about yourself.
Funny, the Lakers didn't do that last summer with DeAndre Ayton, but at least they got some second round draft picks out of it, and I'll leave it at that. Might be the best. I said, I was asked what was the best move that Rob Pelinka did all summer, and I said, well, it's pretty cut and dry to get rid of DeAndre Ayton instead of sulking on your bench, to get rid of him and actually get second round picks in return instead of having to give them. I thought that was, at least one decent move out of anything that Rob Pelinka has done all summer. So again, 1 out of 5 is still not a good ratio indeed. But with that said, I'm everything like you said relies on Austin and Walker Kessler into developing into a top flight trio alongside Luka, and that's a big if, that's a big ask, and we'll see what happens with that. Walker Kessler, I do think can mature into a top 10 center. I think he can get there. I don't know if he will, and that's the thing. He for what you're paying him and what you gave up in draft picks and compensation and what you're paying him currently right now. I talked about Khalil Ware, at $28 million less than what you're going to be paying Walker Kessler. You would not get $28 million less in production from Khalil Ware. I just thought it was a better option than what you're seeing. And then you have Jalen Duren alongside. I think Jalen Duren, even younger than Walker Kessler, and the ability to go ahead and at a forward or center spot to go ahead and be able to dominate on the glass and get you a lot of things there. I still thought that probably would have been a better choice for me. But again, as a rim protector, Walker Kessler should be one of the best in the league as someone that may provide the only line of defense, Legend. Because if you look at this Lakers roster, I don't know who's going to be playing defense, which in the regular season doesn't matter as much because, as you and I know,
Right.
they 82 game season they don't. But when in a lot of cases, but in the playoffs in the postseason where it matters the most and defense is starting to tighten up, we saw with Cleveland what happens there with their newly signed and extended Donovan Mitchell and also as well James Harden. If you do not have at least a defensive backcourt that is adequate, it leaves you with a lot of problems. So I have some concerns. I have some concerns a lot with the Lakers' depth, size, defense, still even some shooting issues as well. So we'll see what happens. But Legend, again, just truly great to have you here. But any last thoughts on the Lakers before we get to Summer League and we head on out?
My last thought for the Lakers is the thing I will give them a lot of credit on is they did get younger and they did get some more athleticism, so that is a good thing. I think it takes time to build a championship team. You don't build it overnight, and this is really the very first all Luka team. You can tell Luka hands been on this thing, especially when you look at people like Grimes. He played with him before, so you can tell Luka done had his say so about who's on this team and all that. But I would just say for people out there, just keep your expectations in check on this season, because this is the first year where it's all Luka, and don't expect the championship this season. That's what I would say, just to be realistic. Even though it can happen, because I continue to say I didn't expect New York Knicks to win no championship. Who saw that coming? But if you're looking at paper, the paper would say this is not a championship team just yet. But this is at least is a team that can probably get to the second round of playoff. They're probably gonna win 40 plus games. So I would just say keep your expectations in check and don't. Some people might jump off the bridge if they don't get to the Western Conference Finals. Just pump the brakes on that part. I think it's another off season away before you can really see what Luka can really do with this team. But I also know too that probably pressure because of the looming summer of 2028 would be looming at that point.
Yeah, but he doesn't care. He's just busy playing golf, which is awesome. Yeah, there you go. Awesome. But when you say that, Legend, that makes my heart sink a little bit even more, because then you're wasting another year of Luka's prime, like you did this past summer, with opportunity to build upon that team a little bit better. Joe and I went back and forth all summer, and I gave him options, and he said, you can't do that. They can't do that. They can't do. So they didn't do that, and they didn't end up winning. And so now you're saying, like, what I already know as well, that this team is not ready in its current format to come close to contending at this point in time. But I don't. That means, just again, you have one of the mercurial players on the planet, and you don't provide a team around him. So we'll see what happens.
What's your thoughts? So how far do you think this team can go? And like, what you think about this roster so far?
I still have to look at it more, see how it finalizes itself. I don't think that Rob is done tweaking with this roster, but right now, again, a defensive challenge team that doesn't shoot. Maybe it has a one or two 40% shooters on the team. Doesn't have Kennard or Rui on there. Again, Rui went for under what he made last year to go to the Clippers, which was okay. All right, whatever. And seeing their, again, lack of size. They only have one player over 6'10" currently on the roster. They don't have a starting forward, in my opinion. Even if Kuminga comes in there, I still don't think they have a starting forward. It's not good. I see another fifth, sixth, or seventh place team out of it in Western Conference. Again, I haven't finalized it for say. I have to see how the rest of the league stacks up. I kind of don't look at this stuff as far as predictions until August or September.
Right.
I think early September. That's when I start asking you guys, start talking to you guys about your predictions. We start doing our predictions. And so that's when I really take a look at it. It's in early September as far as the rest of the league, because then I start talking to everybody, as far as I start out interviews with people who cover the various teams around the league, and that does give me impressions. Like when I'll talk to you and have you on for Atlanta and Golden State, that gives me an impression more of what I think those teams will do in the Western Conference or in the NBA overall. I mean, it's not just that, but I also take a look at the teams, the roster builds up, their histories, things of that nature going forward. But I do like to get a taste of what exactly is going on in the field from individuals such as yourself before I get a full mix into it. But where the Lakers stand right now, just seeing them on paper as of now, I see a small team, a team that's going to have to rely very much on its offense, and a team that's going to have to be a better shooting team than what I think it currently is right now. In order to go ahead and take the next step. And I think Luka is going to have an MVP year. If this team gets into the top, if the team gets in the top four in the West, you might as well hand that MVP over to Luka, because he is going to have to put this team on his back. And I know the phrases that the stuff that was told maybe to him, according to reports, that, we're going to build a team like you had in Dallas. That team lost.
Yeah,
in the final.
Lost. A lot of people keep saying that. Now I'm like, that team lost, right? You want to make something better than that team, not the exact same.
Exactly, and I don't think they've even done that. They had more size on that team. They had also as well a better, I think, a little bit better resources around them. So now you're trying to bring PJ Washington, a couple years older, into the team as well. I'm like, I just think again, what we're going to see from this team is not going to, and they have to stay healthy too, and there's no
Yeah,
guarantee of that. So with that said, Rob Pelinka is a gambler. I will say, for anything you say, he's a
yeah,
bad GM, good GM, average GM. He is a gambler. And to me, he would be either that guy that's doing very well here at one of the high-end casinos, or he's the guy that's going to end up being the guy you give money to right outside the casino. And my guess, if you told me which one is he going to be by the end of the season, I think I'm going to have to give him some money because his tin can is going to be right there outside the casino, because I really think he has done a less than average job. I give this off season a C minus so far. I think he's overpaid on virtually everything that he has done this off season. That means Walker Kessler he overpaid, Austin Reeves he overpaid, um, definitely Mamu and Grimes and Colin Sexton he overpaid. Uh, and for what? And for a team that's not going to get them any closer to a title with the current makeup they have, Legend.
yeah. That's the thing. The younger team. I admit all that. I'm glad they're younger. They're on the right track of going toward where you want to get to. But overall, you overpaid on a lot of players, and probably not going to lead to a championship. So that's just being honest. But you just got to live with the bed that you made. This is what he did, and I kind of figured to get Walker Kessler, you're gonna probably have to overpay. Hopefully he develop into that A-list center. I think he's almost an A-list center. I think he's more like a B-list probably right now, but he's almost an A-list. But still, he's a good pickup getting Walker Kessler. But I just don't think I look at what's on paper as of right now, at least. I know he's probably not done doing whatever he's gonna do, but just looking at what they got right now, I don't think this is a championship team. It might be maybe just a little bit maybe worse than before, but I think it'll finish probably about the same. Probably finish second round or first. One of those two. I just can't. I still think Western Conference Finals gonna be the exact same two teams. OKC and Spurs gonna be right back at it again. It's gonna be the same rinse and repeat from last year, pretty much. So I think it didn't make you no closer to them. I should say that's what everybody in the West is trying to do. And right now, I still think those two teams is far away from everybody else in the West still.
So before we head on out, and once again, I've got Legend from I Got Next Sports Media. Please like and subscribe to his great YouTube channel right there on YouTube. Want to go ahead and mention it is Summer League. Again, I was out right there at Thomas and Mack. The crowds are pretty good. The weather's hot. Everybody involved in the NBA is there right now watching the action or wanting to be a part of the action right there. In the case of Bam Adebayo and Tyler Herro, it's the latter, not the former. With that said, my friend, there are some interesting things going on. Obviously, we're going to take a look at the young players. You've got Leonard for Golden State. You've got the young, actually Henry Vassar. I want to give a shout out to Tuff again because Tuff really wanted Henry Vassar on the Lakers. Your Atlanta Hawks got him, and 14-6 in limited minutes yesterday. Looked pretty good. So that's a good start for you. Ruby Yojafor. He also has played well in the games leading up to the Vegas game as well. So got to give him a shout out as well. But also as well, Cameron Carr, looking forward to
Yeah,
seeing what he can do this weekend, starting right here in just a few minutes from where we're recording. But with that said, my friend, there was Debansa versus Peterson, 1 versus 2. The league sets it up on that first night for the whatever premier rookie matchup they go ahead and throw out right there on opening night, and it delivered.
yeah,
These kids, 27 for Debansa, 24 for Peterson. They shot about as well as you're going to see them right now, with about 6 for 18 and 7 for 18 respectively. But with that said, they were still able to put the points on the board, and that's what really good players do. That even if they have tough shooting games, they're still able to put points on the board to help your team try and win games. Your impression last night of the Debonsa versus Peterson debate, and I really don't think it's going to end for quite some time on who is actually going to end up being the better player.
I can definitely say right now, these two, they look like number one and number two picks. They look like it. They put on the show last night. We saw a really good battle between these two number one, number two picks. And yeah, I don't think it's gonna be over with. This is probably gonna be year two that's gonna be going at it for rookie of the year. Or maybe you might have somebody unexpected go for rookie of the year. But these two put on the show last night. They both showed that they are deserving to be picked where they was picked at. And I can already say this draft class is severely way better than that 2024 draft pick, which, Lord, why we couldn't get the number one pick now versus then? Just why? We had to get number one pick in the worst draft. Oh, man. This draft right here makes me even hurt more. But overall, good. These two showed out. They showed out. I think this draft class might be better than last year. Other than, Cooper Flag was in it. But
I'm telling you right now, there's some interesting things that I've seen. The Michigan kids, as
yeah.
far as also Mo Johnson from Dallas, really played well in his first game in summer league. So I want to give him a shout out. I'm already seeing as well Bruce Thornton, who was the first pick of the second round for the Houston Rockets. 27 points for him earlier today as we record this. And just really some good performances from these young rookies. Now, I don't really gauge second and third year players, Legend, because second and third year players, when they play summer league, they should be doing well,
Yeah,
which
they
is why
should.
it was a shock. Yeah, which is why it was a shock to see Dalton Connect last season really do really poorly in his second season. But when I see like Mikael Brown Jr. Go for 20 for the Brooklyn Nets earlier today against the New York Knicks, I those are the things that I take out of it as far as what I like to see and what I like to view, because of the fact that I think that to see them progress and get the opportunity to play a lot of minutes, get a lot of opportunities to score or make things happen for your team. Yesterday, with Darius Acuff Jr., the ability to go ahead and just right from the floor, the coach said, "This is your ball. You take it. You're our future going forward." And 19 and 7 assists. Again, I expect him by his second or third year in the league to be averaging 20 plus in the league. Now, again, at some point that has to turn into winning basketball, and I don't know if that's going to do that for Darius Acuff because I did see him on the defensive end, and it was not pretty, to say the least. But be that as it may, as a playmaker and as someone who obviously can score and fill it up, I do see a lot of good things. But yeah, just really good things that I saw as far as Steinbach in Charlotte, 15-11. Just again, when these rookies get off to a good start, yes, it's not the be all end all, Legend. Okay, it's not guaranteeing success in any way, shape, or form, but it's good for their confidence when they get off to good starts, Legend.
Yeah, it's good for their confidence. If I always say your confidence will no doubt affect how you play on the court. It will affect how you shoot. It will affect how you play defense. And if you're going in the game confident, you're most likely gonna play a lot more freer, not feeling so much pressure on you. When you don't got confidence, you struggle. You feel like you're gonna be questioning, should I shoot this shot? Questioning how you play defense. That's how you make mistakes when you start questioning. Confidence allow you to play free. And that's a good thing going into your rookie year. You want these guys to have confidence so they can come out here and believe that I belong in this league. I belong on this court with Steph Curry, Kevin Durant, LeBron, Luca, you know, Donovan Mitchell, and so on and so forth. You want to feel like you belong in this court with all these guys that you've been watching play all your years of college and high school. You need that confidence. And that's a good thing if your rookie can go out here and give you 14, 15 plus double doubles or whatever. If they can come out here and deliver, that's good if you're going into the season. They will be able to go out and contribute. They gotta have confidence. You gotta believe them that they'll show up. No confidence, you'll probably struggle. Okay, you're gonna be playing all tight and stiff. But if you got confidence, you play free, careless ball.
And I will say this: if you did not get to see it as you're watching this now, I want you to go back if you're able to on Prime Video, Amazon Prime Video, and watch Chicago versus Memphis in summer league action, because that's 3 versus 4 with Cameron Boozer versus Caleb Wilson. And I'll just say they're putting on a show. This game is almost finishing up as I speak. I'm not going to go ahead and put any spoilers out there. But I would say that if you're a Chicago fan and a Utah fan, excuse me, Memphis fan, you are happy with what you've got there as well, because you're seeing these top picks, Legend, really do what they need to do indeed. So it'll be good to see with that going forward. So again, check it out. Bulls and Grizzlies on Amazon Prime for Friday's action, if that's available to you. So, Legend, it's been great to have you here. Any last thoughts on what's going on with the NBA and also what's going on with I Got Next Sports Media before we head on out?
My final thoughts on the NBA. It's been a pretty good draft. I would say that. I think this is probably the best draft that we've seen in quite some time, and hurts. I say continue to hurts even more knowing the year my Hawks get the number 1 pick. It's a crappy draft. that hurts a lot. But good draft, good summer league. Hopefully next year I will be at one of these summer leagues in person. I'm planning on it. I'm gonna start looking at tickets early to get a flight to go to Las Vegas, meet Gerald in person then. And at my channel, I will probably be talking. I'm planning to talk about WNBA. I want to talk about the Leonard Dreams a little bit, and then I'll probably wait on the big stream for what do Mr. LeBron James decides to do. And I'm gonna also have Bronny James backpack already packed up for him. That's where you going to.
Fair enough indeed. Yeah, the WNBA is always fun to watch as far as just the news coming out there, the sheer hatred between the girls that they have out there. Yeah,
Yeah,
I love the fact that they left a vote for players to decide exactly who they wanted in the All-Star game coming up and all that. Yeah, the way that they, I have my thoughts on Caitlin Clark before, as far as, is she a complete player, et cetera, whatnot. But she is truly a special player in that league, whether
yeah,
you like to believe it or not. And just to see that she was voted 11th was kind of funny, just to show you how well she is not liked.
yeah,
Well, in fact, she had a fist to her throat earlier this season. So again, it is what it is, and there's some larger issues at play with the WNBA. I don't want to go into it, but it is always eye-opening and interesting what these ladies will do as far as it's concerned. Because you think that Tyler Herro getting punched out by Bam Adebayo is something. Legend, I think that's like a Wednesday in the WNBA.
yeah. It feels like it because I was like, man, WNBA is in the conversation around social media, not for the right reason, not for the right
No, but
reason.
they're rough. They're nasty to each other
Yeah,
out on that floor in WNBA.
I saw them going to the Atlanta Dream game tomorrow because they're playing in Portland Fire, so I'll be in person for that game. But I was
There you
like,
go.
oh, hey, y'all more physical than the guys. I don't think I want to play ball with you guys. I'm
Yeah,
good.
exactly. They're there to play. They mean it. They mean business. And again, I'm wishing you all the best with your channel. I Got Next Sports Media. It is Legend. Great to have him here. I'll try to do something over the weekend, guys. Not 100% sure, but we'll see what happens. But again, would love to go ahead and make sure you like and subscribe, and also as well hit me up on my Lakers latest channel. Not my Lakers latest channel. It's actually I host it for the Fan Arc Network. They run it. It's their channel, but it's been doing some big numbers lately. Over 10,000 views in the past week. So I'm very grateful for everyone for supporting me there, and hopefully I will continue to do stuff there for them, and for obviously for here as well. Got to go ahead and give some love to the main channel right here at the Lakers Fast Break. So for Legend from I Got Next Sports Media, it is me, Gerald Glassford. Thanks again for watching, listening. We'll be back with more stuff going on. If there's a more interesting Jonathan Kuminga or PJ Washington or this player or that player going to the Lakers, or what will LeBron do, or you know,
Rob
I
Pelinka,
don't know, whatever's going on.
don't pull them drinks. Don't overdo it, man. For Kaminga, don't do that. No, don't do that.
And we also got to get everybody caught up with what's going on in the summer league as well. So again, we'll get you caught up on that. We'll make sure you got you covered. Make sure you stay subscribed and make sure you stay a part of what we're doing right here at Lakers Fast Break, because we always provide you the best in Lakers and NBA news and always the best in NBA observations.